Hey guys, welcome back to this. This is going to be a very short one. Just wanted to show you something. So, I mentioned my new movement trays in one of my recent videos, and thought I would give you a quick walkthrough to make your own. Now, obviously, these aren't amazing. And these probably I don't think would be accepted in an official tournament. Ideally, you'd go with those plastic ones, but I don't want to spend money on that, so I made my own. Now, what I did was I bought a bunch of these sheets of pretty thick wood. Originally I was going to make like walls or something out of them, and I wasn't sure. But in the end I realized these are perfectly sized to fit a few models on. Now, for instance, important note, I'm only doing, at least for now, I'm only doing movement trays for my basic squads, because like command squad is 5 guys and maybe an officer, right? So like 6, 7 models most. But every single squad of Cadians or Kriegsmen or Catachan, whatever basic infantry, are 10 men minimum. So, anyway, back to it. Chunk of wood. Give me a sec, actually. Let me get measuring tapes right here. You're going to need a few things. You don't need a measuring tape. You can just eyeball it. But for actual measurements, let me grab one of these that are finished. And I'm trying to make these as close as possible. You can see. Sorry for the reflection of the light. There's little to no space there. You need just over an inch and an eighth, something like that. Or sorry, 2 inches and an eighth. 2 inches and an eighth by about 5 inches. So 2 inches and an eighth and 5 inches, kind of wide. Important note, I can't recommend where you'll get these, but this is just sheet metal. I get these from my work for free, because, long story, essentially, we were going to throw out these chunks of sheet metal because this stuff here doesn't work right for us. But anyway, doesn't matter. You can get sheet metal tons of places, aluminum or anything like that, maybe. Actually, I'm not sure aluminum is, doesn't matter. And then you grab tin snips. Now, I bought these ones. These were like $25. They're a smaller size. A bigger size might work out for you, but this one's fine for me. And all I did was I roughly cut these all to be the same size. Now, this one you can see the edge isn't quite matching. And yeah, that's because I made this one, realized it was too big, and I just trimmed it down recently. Let's see how it's sized now. You can fit. Looks like I can fit 2 guys on there with a bit of space to go. So I might trim that down a little bit more. But yeah, that's just kind of how you do it. So I've got a chunk here. I'll actually show you how I actually made it. You need a chunk of wood, chunk of metal, measuring tape, and those tin snips would be pretty good, and a hot glue gun. And obviously stir sticks. So what I did was, because I need to make sure that the wood is bigger than the metal. So, sorry again, I keep flashing you. We're going to put hot glue, just a ton of it on there. Oh, I ran out. Give me 1 sec. That should be pretty good for a few seconds. Sorry, just a second. Didn't realize I would run out of hot glue on that. There we go. Ideally, I would not have let that keep staying melted. I wouldn't have let that cool at all. But, you know, didn't realize. Ooh, I dropped that, almost burnt myself. That's very hot. Be very careful, because the metal will heat up. But you kind of want it squished down. And then, again, I'm going to move that there. No, that doesn't. It kind of helps. Let me see there. That kind of helps. Anyway, so you can see now I've got the metal here. We've got little bits of glue. You can just rub that off, kind of. And then you just trim this down to size. Now, I was fairly sure I trimmed this metal down to size, but looking at it now, I think it might be a bit big. Let's find out. Let's grab 2 basic guys. Chuck them on the base. No, that'll be okay. That'll be fine. So then, all you do, you can just use scissors, you can use your tin snips, or you can use not so great pair of clippers, and just snip at the excess wood. And you can just keep doing that, or you can just cut straight down. But yeah. Actually, you know what? I'm going to try something real quick on camera for you. Sorry, I'm just going to snip that. Yeah, that works. Okay, just pull it. You don't need to snip it. I did snip this one. But just pull it towards, so it'll kind of pull it this way. And it'll bend alongside the metal and should break alongside the metal. Of course, it's not going to do it now that I'm trying to show you. Yeah, let's see if trimming this at all will help. Does that help? Well, it helps at the edge, but... Oh, there we go. And you just keep bending it towards you, and it'll snap off. And having just this little bit that didn't stick, or that isn't proper, doesn't honestly matter all that much, because this is more... the wood is to give it, you know, a bit of more thickness. And make sure you aren't touching bare metal at any point, because these ends can get really sharp, especially when trimmed with the tin snips. And then all we do is get out the hot glue gun again. Put hot glue on the edge here. And again, the edge of the metal. Sorry, I did that all off camera. You can see the hot glue is all along the edge there. Grab a stir stick. Try and squeeze it on, but make sure it's relatively flat with the bottom, so like that. There. Then you can see there's roughly... Sorry, it's not focusing. It'd be great if it did. There we go. There's there shouldn't be overlap, or at least not a crazy amount like that, right? I don't like that end, but again, this doesn't really matter. This isn't for a professional job or anything. This is just to help me move my men around, so I don't need to do so much shifting, you know, 60 men and eventually 120 men. So then you just snip the ends and continue that process on each side. In the end, you will end up with something like that. You know what? I have this when I flip the other way around, so it shouldn't shine as much. But this is what you end up with. Little wooden bordered base, right? Metal on the inside there. Oops, sorry, knock that guy off. Chunk of wood on the bottom, and these guys are not going to fall off unless you like shake it violently. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is kind of my current project. Actually, you know, I'll give you a quick view. Now, I've already shown you recently all my medics and stuff. I'll do a more in-depth video soon, but I thought I'd show you this. So, I made my banner bears. I believe I showed you 2 of these, but this middle guy's a new one. I realized I can actually make 3 total command squads. So I have now this guy here blowing a horn, this guy with drums. That's another 5 guys, right? I already have 10 men for command squads, and I could obviously switch the banner so that each command squad will have 1 banner, and it'll be 3 command squads, which works perfectly. I mentioned recently my second preacher. Well, I was looking through my minis, looking for something. I found this old preacher that I made. He used I'm trying to get the camera to actually focus on him. Focus there. There we go. I used random bits mainly from the Empire Flagellant kit, a few Space Marine Purity Seals. Most of this is Necromunda House Cawdor. I believe that's from the Sisters of Battle. The Flagellant machine or whatever it is. What's it called? That's an elf sword from Fireforge. Please focus. There we go. You know, I can unlock that. There we go. Sisters of Battle. I can't remember what it's called, but it's the you get a kit. There's 2 in the kit. It's got the little pilot guys. Actually, I've got one right here. I use him as a psyker. But yeah, whatever that guy's from, that's what you're looking at. But yeah, so I now have 2 preachers. Oh no, I'll have 3 preachers at the end of this. Right, and I have a few more of those mages. Let's see if I should have another one right here. Yeah, I have another one here. And essentially, though I will never, unless they fix these guys in 11th edition, I will never use most of these psychers or the preachers. It's just more so me and my buddy were planning theoretically on a 5,000 point game. And I'll have all of the models I can physically bring. But yeah, I thought I'd just show you guys that. Hope you enjoyed the video. Have a good night. Please like and subscribe. And if you have any suggestions, any comments, any ideas, throw them in the comment section. Have a good night. Bye.